Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Fire Emblem New Mystery the Emblem. In the last episode, we dealt with the Kingdom of Grawl. Although they were our enemies in the original game when it came to the War of Shadows. In this time around, they're actually completely afraid of us, due to the fact that as soon as we started marching into their lands, literally all the Grawl soldiers literally were just fleeing from Grawl, and they didn't want anything to do with us. So they literally put down their weapons and was cowering in fear, while the Archanea soldiers were the only ones attacking us in the last one. And for not getting rid of a single Grawl soldier, we ended up gaining the trust of the Grawl princess Sheena, and also the mercenary Samson, since although in the War of Shadows when we played through the first Fire Emblem game, we actually recruited Samson over Aaron. But technically this is his first meeting with Marth in general. So, with that, we officially now have Samson officially part of Marth's team, although we did have him in the original and he was canon then, but since New Mystery the Emblem makes Aaron the canon person to be chosen during that event, we actually officially met Samson for the first time, technically, and officially met Sheena as well for the first time. So, with that, I did promise that I would look into Katarina's supports, and I found who actually also has some supports with her. So, Katarina can also have supports with Cecile, which is actually kind of cool, so we'll end up doing that, as long as I can unlock them by the time before we get to the final episode, because we're getting closer and closer. Chapter 24 is the final one, and then we also have one extra story episode, so we're getting really close to maybe not even being able to get to it. So hopefully we'll be able to unlock that. But we still have some supports I need to get, like Zane, Katarina, and Cecile, and Katarina. So hopefully we'll be able to get those by the end of the game. So with that, I believe we are ready to get into Chapter 18, Battle of the Pass. So let's do this. Chapter 18. Battle of the Pass, Adria Peak. Adria Peak, so that's, the little, mountain pass area then. So I didn't know it actually had a name, but now we know the area where that mountain is, near, the, Archanea castle, since we're going around and trying to see if we can not fight as many people as we possibly can, but we ended up fighting someone anyways, even though we tried to go a way where we didn't have to fight anybody to get to Archanea Castle. But with that, let's see here. Aiming to avoid needless battles, the Altean army decided to cross the central mountain range, thought to be impassable by a large army. Should they go through the Adria Pass, they would reach the palace directly. Hurry, we cannot let the enemy notice us. We must charge straight through. Praying for success, Marth and the others walked through the narrow mountain pass. However, despite their prayers, they were attacked by an unexpected enemy in the pass. The northern kingdom of Orlus's elite force, which had moved south to aid Archanea, the Wolfguard. And with that, we're actually officially going to be seeing some people in this episode, but they're not recruitable yet. We won't be able to recruit them until we get to the next episode, based on what I read. So there's actually a specific way we have to do this chapter. That's all I know, and I think I know how to do it based on what I read. It sounds like you have to go to the village first, and it might make the people on top of us disappear. You'll see in a second. That's all I really know about this, because I'm trying to do a 100% recruit run, and if we could possibly do that, that would actually make me happy, because that's one of my main goals, other than getting supports. So, with that, let's do this. Spooks, if we can get through this pass, we will be on Archanea's doorstep. Just hang in there a little longer. Yes, sire. Despite all odds, we've surpassed Henri's way, and taken back Altea. The battles we faced up till now have been nothing short of difficult. In those battles, it's thanks to our friends that our country is free. I cannot help but think of the fallen. I want to become stronger for them. From now on, let's live so that no one falls again. Well, no one's actually fallen on our army, except for maybe nameless soldiers that we don't see actually on the battlefield, but we haven't lost anybody. I guess it still counts people that were knocked off the field, but not actually killed, because we're playing casual mode and they just retreat instead of actually dying. Which, honestly, if we were playing normal mode, I think it would actually be more sad than be, happy with playing the normal mode, because if we were to play normal mode, in a way, I think it would be too emotional for me, because I don't want to see characters dying, because you gain, like, bonds with them, and then when you see someone die on the battlefield, you just kind of get, like, it kind of makes you upset, because you see this person you kind of gained a bond with, and I understand that's the whole point of Fire Emblem, but most of the time, most people just play casual mode. I've barely met anyone that actually plays the normal campaign mode without the casual mode on, out of the people I've actually met in real life when it comes to Fire Emblem. I see a lot of content creators playing normal mode, but I've never actually seen, like, people IRL actually play the normal modes. I played it once, and it's actually pretty easy, as long as you know what you're doing, and you're not playing as aggressive as my playstyle is, and I ended up losing a couple characters every now and again when I played, but honestly, it's not bad. Sacred Stones was one of the ones I did that with, and Blazing Blade. Those are the only two I've done when it comes to playing straight up full-on normal mode, because there is no casual modes in those games, and it's actually pretty fun to play those two. I might eventually do that for you guys, play through Blazing Blade and Binding Blade, and I also want to play through Sacred Stone someday as well. But other than that, let's continue our story, since we're still in this game, and we should finish this one first before we even think about even doing other games. But with that, let's see here. Sire. Oh, that was it. Oh, I guess I could have finished that first beforehand then. I thought there was still more dialogue before. Okay, well, Chapter 18, Battle of the Past. So let's look at our conversations. We have 3 of them, and one of them is indeed Katarina, so I ended up unlocking it. Thankfully, because we did force Spooks and Katarina to fight next to each other, we were actually able to get that, which is good. Because that means we have 1 of the points we need for Katarina and Spooks to be finished with, because we need 3 in order to get all of them. But we also have to get Seal and Katarina, and also get the final 2 for Zane and Spooks. I don't know how long it's going to take to get Zane's one, because usually Zane and Spooks aren't fighting next to each other, so it's kind of hard to get both of them to actually get supports, but I guess we'll hopefully get those soon. But let's see here, the Wolfguard. Besides the Archanea army, Emperor Hardin has one other strong set of troops under his command. They are the Orlisless Knights, a powerful army nicknamed the Wolfguard. The Wolfguard? Yes, in the previous war, the Wolfguard fought as Hardin's subordinates. They were reliable allies back then, but since Hardin is now our enemy, so is the Wolfguard. They have sworn loyalty to Hardin, and would die for him. Spooks, their loyalty is comparable to yours. Oh, so... Well, I can go into who the Wolfguard is, because we've actually met them. It's Violent, Sedgar, and I believe there's one more. I don't remember the final one. I believe it was Wolf. I could be wrong. I think his name was Wolf, though. There is one more, and they're from Mystery of the Emblem. Their name is Roshia, and we'll be meeting them as well. But I think those are the 3 names. I could be wrong. I kind of forgot. But I do know all of the, those are the Wolfguard. But with that, we're going to be finally fighting off with them. Although, we have to kind of stay away from them if we want to recruit them, is how this works. And we'll be able to get them in the next chapter based on what I read. So hopefully we do this right. But, well, let's see here. Take good care once they arrive on the battlefield, Spooks. Okay, I'll try. And current status for Chapter 18. I'm surprised that wasn't the current status, because that literally tells us what's about to happen. But let's see here. The palace is almost within sight. By crossing the mountains, we avoided pointless battles as much as we could. We must fight Garneth and rescue Princess Elise and the other kidnapped clerics. And we ought to do something about Hardin, who's now being controlled by the Dark Sphere. Okay, and with that, we get our first, one and only support for this chapter.
Hello Spooks, are you training today as well?
Yeah, it's something I must do every day after all. What's wrong?
Oh, it's nothing, I was just watching you, Spooks.
Well, I know that, but don't you want to ask me something?
Well, Spooks, is there anything you want me to do for you?
Something I'd want you to do.
Yeah, after all, it's all thanks to you, Spooks, that I can stand here like this. So, I want to repay you. I'll do anything for you, Spooks.
Anything?
Yeah, I do anything.
I see. Then could you train with me?
Huh? Is that all?
Yeah, training becomes more intense when you practice with others.
Alright. Well, then I'll do it with you.
Oh, that's actually kind of a sweet support. I actually like that. And due to the fact that Spooks actually has resistance, and Katarina does as well, we actually don't have to worry about them accidentally hurting each other too, because they're very resistant to magic damage. Unless she was randomly attacking us with lances and stuff, then it would be a different story, because both of them don't have good defenses based on whatever number. But, actually we can check that real quick. Katarina, right? No, she actually has better defenses than Spooks does. By quite a bit. 7 defense! Oh, 4 defense is not good, but we have more resistance than her, I guess. I guess it kind of evens out in a way. With that, I'll be right back like we usually do. I usually make sure people are in the right area. I guess we can show off the Wolfguard real quick. So we have Violent, Roshia, Sedgar, and Wolf. Okay, so I was right. Wolf was the last one. And then we have Roshia, which is new. Because I don't remember Roshia being in the original. I only remember the other 3. So, with that, I believe we are almost ready. All I have to do is just do a small cut and make sure we have the people we want on field, and also make sure we have the positions ready, because we need to actually get to this village based on what I read, in order to get the Wolfguard off of us. I don't know how else that's going to work, and why the village is important. But with that, I'll be right back, and I'll see you literally in 1 second. So bear me, boys and girls. Okay, now with our inventory messed around with, and also I leveled up Julian a little bit because he was only level 19 for like the longest time. So I ended up using the drill grounds on him, and I also found out that his max strength is actually 20, which can be bad in a way, but due to the fact that he does reach to level 30, based on what I read, he actually has some decent stats, so thankfully we do have the Star Sphere on him, so he does get the extra 20, or 2 from that, but technically he's at 22 strength, so honestly it kind of helps him out. And I also used the Angelic Robe on him, and also I ended up throwing, I believe, the secret book that we got from the chest in the last episode onto Spooks to give him some extra skill. Because honestly, I like the ability to crit, so having the ability to crit as often as possible is honestly something I like to see. So with that, let's do this, because crit builds are my favorite things to do in Fire Emblem games, to be honest. But let's see here. Let's see who this Roshia person is, because I believe I've never met them. So with that, let's do this. I don't even know if they're female, actually. I'm gonna go with a male voice, because I think they might be male. So let's go with that. Wolf, Sedgar, Violent, do you not have second thoughts? Does this battle plan not trouble you? Roshia, are you still babbling on about that nonsense? Look over there, the Altean forces are stretched along the narrow pass. Our only chance to crush them is now. What's wrong with you, Roshia? Did the 4 of us not all pledge that we would die for Coyote? Coyote? It was Coyote who freed us, plain dwellers, from slavery. I'm guessing that's Hardin's nickname then. We don't fight for Altea here, or fight for Altea here, then we can't protect the palace. Are you telling me you want Hardin to be defeated by them? That's right. Prince Marth wants to destroy Archanea and everything we hold dear. If we leave him be, the entire world will eventually fall into his hands. I still find it hard to believe. So the Honorable Prince Marth we met and is supposed to be harbored diabolical ambitions? Oh, he has met him. Huh. Okay, then. Then I don't know. Are you calling Coyote a liar? Do you really believe that he would resort to such deceitful tactics? Enough, Roshia. I've lost all respect for you. Betray us if you want. I don't care. Sedgar Violent, let's go. If we delay any more, they will pass us. Hey, wait. You know I can't betray you. I understand. I'll go too. Okay, and with that, we officially now have the Wolfguard on us. So we're being attacked from above and to our right. The left side is completely safe, because that's where we came from. But yeah, we're technically cornered in a way. So if we want to run, we can only go back. And we might end up being cornered from the left side as well, if we were very unfortunate for us to even think about running. But I think we'll be fine, because I'm more than likely sure we won't fall in this battle. It's a very low chance, since we still have multiple chapters to go. And I don't know if Marth wins this war or not. And I don't know what happens to Kris either. So, honestly, we could end up losing. So, that's a very harsh reality that could happen, because I don't know the truth about this game. I didn't know that for Shadow Dragon as well, in the Blade of Light. So, honestly, well, actually, I knew that Marth would survive the Shadow Dragon and Blade of Light, because I already knew there was a second game. But I didn't know if certain units were going to survive or not, because any character could have ended up dying, like Elise or something. So honestly, other than that, let's get into this. The Wolfguard of Arlis. We must fight them as well. Sire, please hold on. We've just received word from a messenger of King Arlis. It seems Arlis has no plans to war. Ooh, so that's where King Arlis is. Okay, so let's head over there as fast as possible then. Let's see here. I'm trying to see where we are, because it only pushed up the message by one. He wishes to parley with you in that village. What? What could this mean? That the Wolfguard is moving independent of Arlis' orders? I don't know. But depending on how negotiations go, it's possible the Wolfguard may signal a retreat. So that's why. Okay, so as long as we talk to that village, it actually gets them to retreat for a little bit. That's actually good. We'll use that to our advantage then. I see. It would benefit us all. If we could avoid pointless fighting, let us hurry to that village. And with that, I actually have a special plan for this, because I set this up to begin with, and that's the whole reason why we have people in the ranges that they are. So, with that, we're actually going to be teleporting Marth directly on top of this village, and using his first turn, actually making sure this village is out of the way. So let's talk to King Arlis and see what's going on here. Oh, Prince Marth, thank the stars I could meet you here. Oh, King Arlis, what brings you here? I came to halt our attack, and I must apologize to you. I believed hard and sided with Archanea, but it seems that I have made a mistake. King Arlis has decided to maintain neutrality. My knights will return to their lands. I understand, Your Majesty. I do not wish to fight you either. Please, find it in yourself to forgive me for what the many Aurelian lives that I've taken. Oh, the rumors are true, as I suspected. I am old and frail, and without children, and now the brother I once trusted has become like this. Prince Marth, please protect Arlis in my stead. I entrust everything to you. As a sign of my allegiance, I would have you accept this orb. Oh, he has one of the spheres. I didn't even know that. Your Majesty, Hardin is... do not worry about my younger brother. A knight can only die a knight's death. 'Twas always his fate. I wish we could kind of tell him the truth about Hardin, but it doesn't seem like we're going to be doing that. But there's a life sphere, so we have every single sphere except for the dark sphere. So we only need one more to fix the binding shield. Okay, and the life sphere actually gives you 20 HP every turn when hold. Ooh. That's actually better than the vulnerary that we have. Okay, let's convoy the vulnerary then. I'll just throw that onto Marth then. Okay, cool. Okay, so apparently these guys should leave me alone now, based on what we just saw. So, let's make our way out of here before we get chased down. How about that, I think. So, other than that, honestly, I think we should start pulling these generals over, just to kind of get them to start moving, since we do need to go this way in order to get to the castle that we're trying to take over. So other than that, let's dance Mauritia. So Mauritia can 1, move out of range, and 2, pull Marth back over to this area. And that'll make this 10 times easier for us. And we'll also use our save as well, because I think we're in a good spot where we can save without having to worry. So let's pull Marth, Spooks, and everyone else this way. We can pull Zane to this side as well, maybe, I think. Let's turn him into Camus, I think. I think Camus would be a good person for him to turn into, because then he'll have some decent defenses to work with, and it's honestly safer for him to be Camus than it would be to be Katri on this chapter, due to the fact that there's 2 Ballisticans on this side of the map. And I still don't know how much damage those things are going to do to us if we were to randomly fly a winged knight over that way. So just in case, let's be careful there. Other than that, we can pull Marisha right here, use Rescue on Marth to pull him away from this village, just in case if some of the knights make their way this way. I feel like some of them still will fight us, but I know that more than likely the Wolfguard will stop attacking us, because they probably got word that from King Orlys to not attack us. So hopefully this works out right, and I believe we can save here now, because now I feel a lot safer with that turn, and I think Fina should be fine. So with that, let's end off the first turn, and see what we end up doing here. So yep, I was... okay, so what I read was right. So there we go, we don't have to worry about Wolfguard anymore, and it dropped off a big chunk of the enemies that we could have fought off with. So that's actually really good. It dropped from a near 30 enemies to literally only 13, making this chapter 10 times easier than it could have been if we were to have Violent and the Wolfguards attack us right there. So thankfully that helped us out a little bit. So now we only have to deal with these generals, because the generals are the only reason why I didn't run in like a crazy madman. So with that, we can probably go Hellfire on this one with Katarina. We're going to try and get as much support points as we possibly can here for both Spooks and Katarina, and maybe even get one for maybe Cecile here for Katarina and her, but I don't know how hard that's going to be, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, Zane, I'm going to have you try and get to Spooks as well. So let's have Fina do a dance on Zane, see if we can get any kind... I think we still should be able to get support points as long as Zane is pretending to be someone. So I think we should be fine there. I think right here should be fine, because it'll give us points with Katarina here if we attack this guy, so we should be fine here. Then we can move Ogma in to attack one of these generals, whatever one I end up choosing. But it will be... make it so Zane can go right here and attack this one. So let's see here. I think Ogma... I'm going to see if maybe Ogma can fight off with this one. I also want to test out this Immortal Axe, in case this guy ends up hitting me. So he ended up hitting me, so I should gain HP back. How does this work? Do I just attack and then it gives me it back, or is it only based on the first hit? Looks like maybe I gained some after combat? It looks like that might be the case, because... yeah, it seems like it is, actually. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay, good to know, actually, because I wasn't too sure on how that was going to end up working. Then we can toss 2 javelins at this guy right here, leaving some free experience for anyone that wants to pick that up. And then, honestly, we can run Cecile right here, maybe, and then do a javelin, giving Cecile more than likely a level here, and also maybe a point with Katarina, because I think as long as we're within 2 spaces, it should count. I'm going based on Awakening when it comes to supports. So hopefully this ends up working the way I'm hoping it does. Oh, we're actually getting close to being able to maybe be able to use silver lances soon. I think by C rank we can actually use that, so the free silver lance we just got we might end up being able to use soon. That's actually going to be fun. Okay, so I actually should check for swarm users. Okay, all bishops are fortified users, so we don't need to worry about that. Silver Lance, Rider's Bane, so watch out for moving any kind of Cavalier into here. And then the Hoist Flames can be a problem, but the Hoist Flames aren't as bad, I think. So we can move Katri into range, because we already know that we're fine there, so we can move her. I think Marth should be fine. Ryan has decent defense, he can go in here. He also has good HP, so we don't need to worry about him. Marisha is almost max level, which is going to be good in a little bit. I don't know if it's going to be good when it comes to actually what stats she ended up getting in the end, but you never know. So Hoist Flame does 11 damage to decent defense units, actually. Well, Katarina has 11 defense, so that's actually a lot of damage. Okay, thankfully they didn't attack Spooks there. That could have been actually really bad. Okay. So, based on what I can see here, what I can see is we run Cecile in here and have her maybe go straight onto this thing. So get rid of the Ballistican as fast as possible. We'll go for the Silver Sword just to ensure that we get rid of it. Because that's the only main problem here, other than the generals. So we do need to get in range to block off the Rider's Bane user, or even be able to get rid of him, if we want to do this correctly. I don't think Rider's Bane affects Pegasus Riders, so we don't need to worry about Catria here. But we do need to get rid of this Ballistican if we want to do anything here. And thankfully, Style Points to knock out the Hoist Flame, so we don't waste any more durability on our Steel Lance. Cool. I like seeing that. Okay. I'm thinking maybe pulling out the Rapier on Marth here, because the Rapier can actually win us this next couple fights here with these generals. As long as we move here for Marth, okay. I just want to make sure we get the max range with Fina here, because I knew Fina was going to be able to move Marth further than he possibly can go. So let's see here. Marth, go right here. You're going to pull out your Rapier. See what you can do here. These guys only do... Well, he only does 4, but the Silver Lances could do much more. But we already know he's not going to be able to double you. And thankfully the Rapier does actually shred armor, so we can use that to our advantage. Okay, down goes the Rider's Bane, so the one that we actually had to worry about is gone. Okay, Zane. We can run Zane in, and then have him go for that, I guess. That might end up being a good thing. So let's do that. So we're going to have Zane go for this, but we're also going to heal him first before running him in, since he is a little bit low on HP. So mend up his wounds, make sure he's nice 41. Basically, canvases real HP, so that actually helps him out. Then we can run in with Steel Lance, one-shot the Bishop here, and then figure out what we want to do with the rest of this army here. So this actually was going to be a much easier chapter than most of the ones we've actually played with. So we got Strength +1, Luck +1, and Resistance +1. But the thing is we can't actually use any of those strengths, because he loses any kind of thing he could have gained there because of the fact that because of what we are, we actually don't get everything when it comes to that, because when we imitate someone, we lose the stats we had, even if they were better than the unit that we turned into. So although that is kind of unfortunate, but we don't have to worry too much here. And since Zane is Camus here, he doesn't take too much damage, and he might actually double this guy. And he did, so down goes another one of these generals, leaving only one more and 2 healers on map. So we're actually pretty good here. Let's put away the 1 vulnerary, because instead of... Oof, I actually didn't even see that he had a bow. That could have been much worse. Thankfully, we chose to turn Zane into Camus and not Catria, because of the fact of the Ballisticans. Because if Zane was Catria right now, that would have been one dead Zane, to be honest. Okay. Other than that, we'll just go for some supports here to kind of maximize our efforts here. So Spooks, you go for this one. Honestly, 1 Elfire should be fine. I don't mind wasting an Elfire because Elfire is not really hard to get. So honestly, this might not be a bad thing. So that would be good. We also gained another Recover Staff, which is always nice to see. Then we can dance Spooks, which might end up making this work. Because then we can maybe go here, and then use Catria to get this Bishop, making it so we get 2 points for Catria here, maybe, as long as... I think as long as you're 1 space, even if it's diagonal, it counts. So we're trying to maximize the amount of points we can get here. Then we can maybe go for Spooks again here, but honestly, I'm going to try and go for Zane here. Because Zane won't one-shot this guy, and I already know it, so we can use the experience for someone else. Oh, he actually has a silver bow, so if he were to survive another turn, he would be able to pull out the bow if he wanted to. Which could be bad, but we'll be fine here. We're actually almost done with this chapter, so... actually, we can run Cecile in here and get the points for Cecile and Catria, so let's go for that. So, Silver Sword's actually the best option here, because it's a 100% chance. And even if he actually missed, even if he actually did hit us, we would actually get rid of him this turn, which ends up being good for Cecile. And this chapter is done and over with. It almost feels like a side story chapter due to the fact that we finished this a lot faster than most of the other chapters in this game so far. So, this has actually been the fastest normal chapter, other than a prologue, that we've had so far. So, with that, let's seize the chapter and let's end this off. Not bad. We did really good this episode. Thankfully, we did find out about that through the recruitment options, because if I didn't know that, we would have had Violin and everyone else chasing us down if I did not check that. That's actually good, because if we did knock them out, they wouldn't be recruitable in the next chapter. And that was the whole reason why we did that village thing. I guess I could have waited one turn so we can at least fight a couple of the random Wolfguard units that weren't Violent, Roshia, Sedgar, and Wolf. But honestly, might as well get them off the field first turn, so we don't have to worry about accidentally knocking him out. Because honestly, we could have had to worry about that, and maybe even Marisha, or actually no, it was Fina. Fina could have ended up getting attacked by 3 enemies and ended up going down, so honestly it worked out in our favor. So with that, let's see what's going on with the end of this chapter. Spooks, we've made it through. The palace is not far. Apparently it's in walking distance based on what we heard. So honestly, we're actually really close to Archanea now, which means we're almost on top of fighting off with the evil version Harden, which is going to be fun to do, because that is technically, I would think, would be the endgame boss, so we're getting closer and closer, although, if we're right next to Archanea, how the heck is there 24 chapters in this game? There must be something else. Maybe there's multiple, chapters before we get into Archanea, multiple, small battles, which could be the case. I honestly don't know. But, oh yeah, we still need to fight off with Garnef too, so that would make sense why there's more now I think about it. Wonder what Garnef's doing, though. I really do wonder. But other than that, let's see. I have only you to thank for this. You do nothing but help me. Not at all. I just made a random suggestion. That's hardly the whole truth. The times when I'm lost in my thoughts. If you're there, I have confidence I'm thankful for that. More than anything.
Sire. We've just received urgent news. Apparently a coup d'etat broke out in the palace. The knights and citizens who opposed Emperor Harden's ways rose in rebellion.
What in blazes? What has happened to them now?
Unfortunately, the instigators were all defeated and captured. Rumor has it that the rebels are being executed by the day.
Damn it, Harden. I can't believe it.
It's decided. We will head for this palace at once and end this. Spooks, let's go.
Yes, sire. Which palace are we going to? It can't be, Archanea Castle, because I don't think we're right on top of it yet. Although it is in walking distance, apparently, based on what Marth and Spooks and, Yegan were talking about, in between. So, I wonder, it's gotta be the Wolfguard then that's being executed, because, based on what we were told, Harden saved them from being executed before, so it would make sense that maybe they're the ones being getting ready to be executed for a second time, and that would make sense why they would join us if they were to survive this chapter. So that would make sense. So, I'm gonna say it's probably them, because they are recruitable next chapter, which, I wonder how they're going to feel about that, honestly. Because Harden was the whole reason why they're still alive to begin with. So, who honestly knows what's going to happen when they find out that Harden ended up saying, you're being executed to them. I really wonder how that story's going to go. So, with that, I'll see y'all in Chapter 19, getting us closer and closer to the final side story episode, because literally Chapter 20 is when we'll be unlocking that. So we're literally, let's see here, we got the next episode, so 19, 20, so 2 episodes, and then on the 3rd episode we'll be on the final side story episode, and then 4 episodes after that we'll be done with this game. So, with that, thank you all for watching so far, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you all on the last little bit to the Archanea Castle. So with that, thank you all for watching, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.